Man, it's been a minute, and I am horrible at public speaking again. So I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna have a few bumps along the road. But let's talk about my time in Cape Town, South Africa. I've been here for a month, and it has been nothing but an amazing trip. Now, there's one quote that my, manager of the hostel said that has stuck with me, and ever since then, I've just been fixated on the quote. And the quote goes, I came here to change Cape Town, but Cape Town changed me. And it's a wonderful and beautiful quote because everyone comes to Cape Town to probably have a little expectation as to how their travel should go. And if anyone knows how to travel, it's chaos and you just have to go with the flow. One of the most rewarding things about my travels here were the volunteers. A lot of them came from Europe, primarily Germany, but several from around the world as well. And meeting the younger generation of travel is a little different. And I say younger, they're not that much younger. I'm only 27. They're like 18, 19, 20. It was so refreshing to meet everyone. The reason being is that everyone is going through the same stresses I used to go through. The highs and lows of travel, the entirely new environment. And this is usually one of their first continents they go to, or the first one they've traveled to, where as I introduce myself, this is my sixth continent. So this is just getting back on a bike and riding it. It was so invigorating and so nice to feed off their energy in a sense that everyone had the excitement of travel. You want to do spontaneous adventures. You want to go see the entire city. You want to indulge the culture, try the food, and truly experience the place for what it is. And what was so nice is that reflecting back and seeing how new travelers start to travel, I see some of the same mistakes. And it's so refreshing because I already know what those mistakes are. It's trying to experience everything despite not knowing exactly what you want from your travels. And I, being on my sixth continent and 32nd country, know exactly what I want from these travels. And to see and experience what others are trying to go through and the highs and lows they're trying to experience, it gave me a great reminder to know that, hey, your travels are what you make of them. If an individual goes out and travels and expects the place to give them an amazing time, they have already set their expectations for the place, they're not going to have a good time. You've already set yourself up for failure for thinking that it's going to be a certain way or going to experience a certain thing. However, there's a lot of distractions. However, what it truly is that there's chaos left, right, and center. And the best way to hone that in is to go with the flow and make it your own. And these volunteers have been nothing but high energy, excitement. But what was nice about the whole change here in Cape Town was that I got to reflect and experience and share the same values as some other travelers. For the longest time in 2025, it was the hardest thing to process my travels. I traveled for 2 years around the world and then I got home, and for whatever reason, it felt like my achievements didn't mean as much as it should have been. It felt like I was trying to sell someone a car when they didn't have their driver's license. I was trying to speak and talk about my experiences to process them, but I usually got a response like, very cool, so happy for you. And then we would move on to our next 9 to 5, where the next paycheck's gonna go, and just the values didn't line up. And the second I arrived here, introducing myself just was so refreshing. I still remember saying, my name is Oscar, I'm from Canada, and this is my sixth continent, and I haven't traveled to Europe. that alone, that one sentence got so much attention from everyone around me because they looked at that as experience, wisdom, and honestly, it helped me process and understand where I've been and what I've done. And I think one of the best parts about doing this entire experience and helping me process what I have done and traveled is a journal. So let me get that. Okay, so this journal is probably the most valuable thing I have while traveling. Number one, I get to write all my crazy adventures and experiences in this journal, and it helps me process the crazy adventures I have. But along the way, I noticed there was something else I could add to it, and I'm so glad I started doing this, and I highly suggest everyone else who travels to do this. I let other people write in this journal, and I say the same script to everyone who writes in my journal. You can write whatever you want. You can even draw on it. You don't even have to write. You can add something to it. You can even put it in your own language. And the only thing is, I will not read this journal entry you put in my journal until we go our separate ways. And I didn't think of it as a motivational thing, or I just thought it made my journal a little bit more personal in the sense that I have a unique perspective from people from around the world. And now, to help me process it, I'm gonna read some of these entries for the first time. And I think I'm gonna make a series out of this because I think it's really cool. Did you want to write in my journal?
Yes.
I realized this guy has the most iconic laugh ever. And another point I want to mention. You inspired me because now I want to go for an Ironman. I've inspired someone to even attempt to think about an Ironman. I haven't even done one yet. That's insane. Cape Town has become a better and brighter place since you arrived. Yeah, I've been reading this one. This one, Listening to your travel stories has inspired me so much. And I'm sure you hear that all the time, but I really feel like you have a big impact. The crazy thing is that I haven't processed Cape Town because I'm still in it, but reading these entries helped me realize how much of an impact I've had. And I'll be honest, just a few minutes ago, I didn't think I left a drop at all. I didn't feel like I made any difference here. This is a wonderful and beautiful city. And I thought that what I had done was a drop in the ocean. But to see and hear how much I've affected others, it made all of 2025 worth it. In the sense that 2025 was rough, and I had to go through some lows. But ultimately, it made me fully appreciate what I just read. And with that, I'm gonna say it again, it is gonna ring true for the rest of my life. I came here to change Cape Town, but Cape Town changed me. That's insane.